Hey everybody, this is a pre-recorded live, so sorry, it's not really me live today. But that being said, I wish I could shout you all out, but thanks so much from really the bottom of my heart for being here. I'm gonna pre-record this because I wanted you all to join your chat and, be with the sort of community we have built here. And I didn't want to leave you without anything. So I thought to do this particular, segment today in place of me being here live, and that is an interview I did with this woman named Christine, and she's from Connecticut. And so let me just give you a little backstory here real quick. And I don't know if you remember the story I did about those Connecticut. He was a pastor and this other what do you call him, administrator or something like that. I don't really know, but he works with youth, and they're both transgender men. Okay, so they're both female to male transgender. They are sketch. Okay, and so they're all about promoting trans kids. They talk behind parents' backs. They incentivize these kids to transition. They get them binder. It's the most horrifying story. I'll put a link to the story also in there so you can watch the rest of it. But let me just bring this up real quick so you can get an idea of what I'm going to show you today. So let me go here and play a little bit of this for you. It's called Disgusting and Shocking. Trans pastor and trans youth director lure kids into being trans. It's so real.
For kids that are kind of like secret.
We have a circus program, but it's for kids. So it's like, I think, how old are you?
Well,
12, yeah. So that you're right in the perfect age. So we don't tell anybody. No. Well, yes, they'll never know. We don't tell anybody where these are being held. There's one every other week is in Middletown, and every other week is in New Haven. Like I said, I have somebody who's awesome, absolutely awesome to talk to them, and who will talk to you too, Justin, about how you're feeling, what you need, and all that. But his name is Tony Ferriello.
My nephew, Justin, 12 years old.
It blows my mind, you guys. It blows my mind. This stuff is happening, okay, right in front of our faces, because no one wants to question the pastor of the MCC church and this trans youth director who's trans. And I was a trans kid. Shut up. No, you weren't, dude. And it's disgusting that you're talking behind parents' back. So anyway, I'm going to have the interview today with Christine, who it was part of the MCC church and knows both of these guys. And boy, does she's a transgender woman, so she's a male to female, okay? And she is a political space. She leans to the right, and she is very conservative, and she's run for, I think, state legislative office or something to that effect. You'll see so she's been in the political space. I like her. I think she's pretty intelligent and awesome. But, most importantly, what I like about her is she fights for the kids, and she knows it's all BS that kids are trans and putting them in. These people are, if these people had solid ground, they would not be lying about this behind the parents' back. It's dangling the cherry. It's the van with no windows. It's all of it. It's creepy and disgusting and gross. And I don't care if you're trans, dude. Like, trans people can be creepy and disgusting just like everybody else. So, with that, thanks for being here today. I totally apologize that I'm not, but I'm on a family vacation, and it's always good to get away from the internet. And I think you guys all agree with me on that one. So I appreciate that you still show up to the live, and I appreciate that you still support the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. I got a lot of other things in the works today. I got Discord's happening, new shop happening, some cool new people working with me. Remember, Lisa and Ann are in the chat today, and they are the mods. So if you have any problem, ask them. Just a lot of great stuff happening. So I'm taking a break before I move forward and pushing a lot of new stuff and a lot of new content that's going to be coming up. So with that, again, I do appreciate you all so much. I can't get these messages out there, and I can't do the work that I'm trying to do here to make us, first off, a better world, and secondly, to get rid of all these creepy weirdos that consider themselves transgender, whatever that means. So have a great rest of your day, and have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys when I return in the next week, and we'll have a great conversation then. So without further ado, here is the interview. Oh, wait, before I do that, I want to say that I'm going to put a bigger little clip of this at the end of this so you can watch a little bit more, and then I'll put a link to the full interview at the bottom. I mean, of the full first video that I showed you early on, so that you can watch the whole thing. And I think it's a very important interview, and I'd really appreciate if you can get it out there and more eyes on it, so that we can start getting rid of these slimy people. Anyway, anyway, okay, I'm gonna go pack, and I'm gonna get out of here, and I'll see you guys later and on the next one. And have a great rest of your day. Hey everybody, welcome back. I have an awesome guest today. I don't know if you remember, but I did this story. It was called Without Consent, and it was about a transgender female to male pastor and a transgender female to male, sort of like a social worker kind of guy. And they were caught in this whole scammy thing where they were talking to kids without their parents, and it was really creepy, and you guys all loved it so much. And then I said I would do a part 2 because there's a really horrible next part of the story. Then I had this amazing, beautiful person reach out to me, whose name is Christine. And Christine said, I know a lot of what's going on because I'm from that state, and I'm in the church called the MCC church, and I know Pastor Aaron Miller. And I was like, what? This is excellent, because you guys really wanted a second part of this. So it just worked out so amazing. And it's the universe or God, whoever you want it to be, sort of putting us together. So with that, I have Christine. Thank you so much for joining me today, Christine. And why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll move forward.
Well, thank you, Buck. It's an honor and pleasure to be on with you. Christine Repstock, a transsexual person from the greater Hartford, Connecticut area. I'm a 2024 Connecticut state legislative candidate. I'm definitely not viewed nicely amongst the transgender rights activists here in the Northeast. I've been on record stating how I do not advocate medical transition for minor age children. I do not sanction, I object to any transition whatsoever for minor age kids that emanates from outside the household and done without parental knowledge and consent. And I wrote a proposal to our state's high school athletic association with a rule for transgender girls that have to follow testosterone limits that would protect girls' sports. And that got scuffled by the executive director of our high school sports organization.
Wow. And you're an actual
state office.
It's horrible. It's just we were talking off camera, Christina and I, and we were talking about how we're not the right kind of, transsexuals. If they want to actually have a fair and balanced sort of vision of what all this means, they don't want to hear from people like us who are obviously, her and I align with no kids. We need to have a much more solid gatekeeping space. And so you ran for a legislative seat?
Yes, state representative.
State representative. How did that go for you?
I entered the race late, and so I missed the deadline to be on the Republican line on the ballot. I had to go on my own as a petitioning candidate, which are at the bottom of the ballot.
Yeah,
and
but at least you did it.
Treasurer, everything was door knocking. I had a couple people make signs, homemade signs, and someone sent me some pamphlets.
Wow. Well, good for you for doing it. So maybe you could just do it again the next election, right?
Well, the next year we're in a process of moving, so I don't know.
Okay, well, we just need you anyway. Even if you're in that political space, we just need your voice.
I'm a regular to talk radio in the Northeast.
Great.
Not only Hartford, but WABC in New York. I've been interviewed a couple times in that.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
Greg Kelly of Newsmax, and because his radio show had me on Newsmax a couple times.
Excellent. Yep, that's what we need. We just need, when did you start? When did you try? Can I ask a couple of personal questions?
Sure.
Like when you transitioned? Sure. When did you transition?
6 years ago.
6 years ago. Great.
I knew when I was like 13. I was nervous coming out, going to college in a community college in Buffalo. I was on the bowling team, and we got to compete against four-year schools, and we won the national championship in 1986 in Houston, Texas. And I was worked at a newspaper, and ended up doing some sports writing, and ended up being inducted into 4 Bowling Hall of Fame. So I covered Major League professional sports as a writer, and I competed in them in professional bowling. So how am I going to come out? And
Yeah.
years went by, and I was 52. It
Mhm.
was the spring, and I told my spouse, and that didn't go well. I
Mhm.
attempted suicide in June of 2019.
Oh.
We had another blowout, and then I told her about it.
Mhm.
And then it was about this time in July, I told her about the suicide, and she started to come around. We went slowly.
Mhm.
I got some, I went to the doctor and had some mental health visits.
Mhm.
I was fortunate when I was recommended and diagnosed with gender dysphoria,
Great.
an opening for the endocrinologist opened up, so I only had to wait a few months.
Great. Well, you seem like this is what you needed to do, and I'm sure you're happy. You seem very happy and pretty
Yes, I'm much
focused.
happier. Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. That's great. That's all I care about, like moving
It's
forward
just
as an adult, you know? And
we are political footballs, and most of us are trying to live our life. My
well, yeah,
my view is people will see man, people see woman, so it's important that someone like me tries to blend in. If I'm going to live as my true self, I better assimilate. If I want to be gendered
that's right.
properly, it's on
That's
me
right.
to go out and earn that respect in the public.
Totally. I say
And
it
I'm
all the time.
fortunate that the good Lord has blessed me with that ability.
Oh, that's so sweet. Awesome. Well, you do. And, you know, you're doing the work. And these are the kind of transsexuals that need to be out there and people see us and respect us because we're honest about it. Honesty is everything. And so, you know, it's just ridiculous how they're just having bearded men saying they're women and everyone's just supposed to be okay with that. Like, oh, they know who they are. They clearly don't. They don't know who they are.
And let me tell you one thing which is a valued part of trans healthcare. I don't like the term gender affirming care.
Yeah.
Voice therapy, that gets overlooked. Everyone wants to do FFS.
I
Oh,
know.
voice therapy helped me out exponentially.
Hmm. Hmm. Same with me. I did years and years of therapy. I'm a believer. This is a mental disorder space, and we need to figure out our minds before we can figure out the outside.
And the medical care doesn't cure if you have existing mental health condition.
Yes,
It doesn't solve those problems.
that's right.
It
That's
only
exactly
helps us
right.
to blend in.
That's right. And when you're honest about it, you can blend in and be honest and move forward in your life and always know the things you can do and the things you cannot do. It's real simple. But we're teaching kids bad behavior. So then we have bad players in our community, lots of them, and I won't stand for it. I've done this 33 years ago, and I have traveled the world speaking about being a transsexual and really did it for our community, and so we could all move forward. And then these clowns come in and just start going towards the kids. I'm like, what? Are you insane? Touching children? Like, wow, that just really, I think above and beyond anything, even the idiots with the beards and mustache and calling themselves women, I think it's the kids. Once we put the kids in the mix, that was basically, we're done. We're totally done.
Why is everything about the kids? We had 2 proposed librarian laws, which meant school librarians and your public school librarians will give full autonomy over the books. Yeah. So I read a passage of the book Gender Queer during public testimony, and I got shut down. They said, well, this is on YouTube. People in the audience isn't suitable for the audience. But yeah, kids in the school library could read it. And you go to your public library in children's sections and read that book.
That's the hypocrisy.
And the state senator that brought up the bill was denying it during his public testimony. Got mad at me when I followed him into the rotunda and questioned about it. And I showed him some of the book that I was reading.
Yeah.
But kids, everything's the kids. Why?
Yeah, it's creepy. I'm not sure. I have a lot of ideas, but it's creepy.
Leave the kids alone.
Just really gross what they're doing. And so I have a couple videos here just to refresh the audience memory of this. So let me bring up this first one here. Christine and I are going to look at this, and then she's going to talk a little bit about her. Here, hold on. Let me bring it back here. A little bit about your experience here. So hold on. Let me just play this a little.
A mother's tip to Project Veritas sparked an investigation into a network of transgender activists. Falsely accused of abuse after her daughter had one meeting with the Reverend Aaron Miller, she feared for others. Miller, a transgender pastor, collaborates with transgender life coach Tony Ferraiolo to advocate for transgender youth in Connecticut. Through a series of meetings with the pair, Project Veritas probes how far some activists may go to promote transgender transitions for children without parental consent.
Between me and you, and this is not being recorded, I can't know that they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink, nod, nod. I don't know how many people we should share that the parents don't know. Do you have a binder? Do you bind your chest? Because we give away free binders. They're supposed to be for 18 plus because of legally that's what we have to do. But we can always like give one to Reverend Miller. Whatever he does with is none of my business. You know what I'm saying?
Don't put confession there. That's the chest. Because it's a binder. I mean, it'd be one thing if we were talking puberty blockers, which I hope we will be.
He needs to move forward with this transition. I'm here now in your life to protect you and to help you move forward. Okay? Trust me. I have helped thousands of kids.
It is so creepy, Christine. Okay, so it makes me so mad every time I watch it. So who are these guys? You have some experience.
Well, Tony Ferriello works with trans kids. A life coach, I believe A&E he was on, or Netflix when he had an online series.
Yeah.
Transitioning kids. It's interesting. He does not like the fact that I speak to leave the kids alone.
Of course not.
We have a small town outside of New Haven. New Haven is where Yale University is.
Right.
Guilford. In the about let's say fall of 2022, they had a trans rights activist. She's also one to promote the kids in the school. Someone got wind of this and heard me on the radio and reached out to me and proposed their Human Rights Commission have a seminar on me. I was denied for being too political. And then the February meeting, their Human Rights Commission meeting, which is someone recently sent me the video, there is Tony Ferriello saying, hey, we have trans people in Connecticut that are against transitioning of children. Okay. And I need to talk to them. And that was more meant at me than anyone.
Okay.
And
did he have the conversation?
Is he a doctor? I don't believe he's a doctor.
No, he's a life coach. Also, so did he have the conversation with you ever?
No.
Okay.
He unfriended me on Facebook. I haven't seen when we might have had a hello at one thing, and that's it. Very quick in passing.
Right. So he considers himself a life coach. He has this attachment where him and Pastor Aaron Miller are able to connect each other to these kids. I just showed you right there. I can get them binders and then give them to the pastor to give them to the kids without the parental The thing that bothers me a lot about this is no parents. They're keeping the secrets from the parents and not even having any consultation with the parents and the kids together.
That's the biggest problem of all. I mean, that's immoral. Everything
it's
has
illegal.
And parental knowledge and consent is a must.
100%. It's creepy.
Will of parental rights.
Wow. So this Tony guy is out there being a life coach and has he works with these organizations and he talks to kids with whatever that even means, right? Like, I don't even know how he got into this space. And then he hooks up and they're buddies. Aaron Miller, the pastor, and Tony are buddies. And they start to sort of, and Aaron Miller is the pastor of the MCC.
Yeah, Metropolitan Community Church.
Where you're a community member.
I do go to church. I will say we don't see a lot of kids in church. We don't.
Okay.
A lot of people that attended the church.
Okay.
When this happened, my suicide attempt, I posted on my Facebook, and someone from the church says, you have us here at MCC to support you. And I sent a message saying something about Pastor Miller. Say, oh, yeah, we look out for Aaron. Oh, and there's like, why? What's going on? I go, I didn't want to spill the beans yet.
Yeah.
I let him talk. I said, going on politically and all that.
Right.
And that the next day was Sunday, June 29th. There was police presence for the service. And the next week we get the update, like Saturday for the email, that the July services will be Zoom only.
Why? What happened?
Well, they took the phone number off the website. So they're trying, I think trying to hide. You know,
Oh, did they get some?
Yes, I've called for Aaron Miller and Tony Ferriello to reach out to a host named Reese Hopkins on Afternoon Drive on WTIC-AM, which is the most powerful radio station in New England.
Okay.
To reach to Reese. Reese, they got his number. Say something.
Right.
And if you don't want to, Reese would even keep it off the record, but say something.
Right.
Because this is all, hey, we are hiding something. This is all what it smells like. Because they are.
Well, so then they got paranoid or whatever they got, and they took the phone number off, and they stopped in-person services after all of this kind of people bringing it up, you bringing it up, and or other people bringing up something was going on there, or only
Believe
you?
it or not, for our talk radio, Reese Hopkins PM Drive show, if it wasn't me calling a morning drive in Hartford, they wouldn't know.
Wow, so a bunch of people heard this was happening there.
Reese got a powerful audience. He's got a lot of reach now.
So then they went and they took the number off the website, and then they started just doing Zoom only.
0000, yes.
Wow. So, you know, the other thing that's interesting, and you all can go back and watch my original video, is that when I was doing a little investigation, Tony Ferraro, I'll just say Tony, his website was down for maintenance after this. Yeah, which was a little weird to me after this whole Project Veritas thing came. A lot of people will look at Project Veritas as a hardcore right wing, whatever. I don't care. You can think of it as you want. I think they do good investigation work. And I didn't just say, I went and also did my little investigation about this and why you stepped up as a transsexual as well. So that being said, there must be hiding something, because why are they? Yeah.
And I reached out to Project Veritas, and someone talked to me on Tuesday. I made a written statement.
Oh, great.
And they called me back. Before I joined you, I sent a video statement.
Great.
And hopefully they will use it.
Great.
And for being, quote, right-wing, which is anti-trans.
No, they're
the
not.
person I talked to said our editors, wow, they think you're a patriot. We like the idea of you protecting the kids.
Well, there you go. I keep telling everybody this. It's so gross. They always try to use it. You're a right wing. They hate trans people. Want me to prove to you they don't? They actually will have the conversation with you and I. It's the liberal woke media that will not have the conversation. That says to me that they are hiding from us. They don't want to hear our side of the story.
Well, I can attest to that. NPR had Colin with Governor Lamont on, and when I called in, I got accused of lying when I brought up what sex and gender being taught in our government public schools. And I had to give some examples. And I had to wait in the queue for like 20 minutes before, they don't want to get back to you.
Of course, 100%.
But we have a breeding ground of this in Connecticut. Well, 2 years ago, 16 attorney generals, California's one, two, and filed an amicus brief supporting it's called Foot versus Ludlow, which is the Ludlow schools supporting hiding a kid when they want use of pronouns or social transition from parents. Connecticut Attorney General William Tong is one of those 16, along with, of course, Massachusetts AG Andrea Joy Campbell, and New York Attorney General Letitia James. And Letitia James would host Drag Queen Story Hours too.
I know. Yuck.
And we also have organizations like Q Plus, which is geared for kids.
What? Why would they even have an LGBTQIA for kids? Kids.
You know what, Buck? I haven't checked Q Plus's website. I wonder if it's still up and running.
Yeah, I'll do a little research on that too. Q Plus. I wouldn't. Who knows if they're? The thing is, these people are getting exposed, and I can see how it's all crumbling as the Aaron Miller and Tony are doing something. We just showed a video where they were talking to I think she went undercover. She was a 13-year-old little girl or something, talking about getting a binder and wanting to transition. They were like, wink, wink, nod, nod. Like, we'll get the. No. Like, what, dude? Who talks to a little? And why are you talking to a little kid without their parents?
There it is. The hands are caught right there in a cookie jar.
That's right. That's why it's so powerful, and the way all the websites went down, and now they're only doing Zoom meetings. and all of the other work. So have you seen Pastor Miller at all around,
But
or?
once that last Sunday, he asked me
Yeah,
what was going on. I was honest. I said,
sure.
you know how I feel about the kids. I go, parental rights were violated, but I
Hmm.
know you a
I'm not
long
quite
time,
sure how to
Aaron.
help you with that.
You
Hmm.
don't, I go, you don't want to hurt children, but you're going about it the wrong way. We
Uh,
cannot violate the parental rights is there for a reason. It can't be violated.
Cannot be violated. I'm pretty sure that's illegal to go behind a parent's back and like lure children into a space. Well, there's this weird thing where they have like it's to help the kids so that they don't like off themselves. They use that whole like, the kids are going to off themselves if they don't transition nonsense, right? And all of this like the parents don't understand. They use all of that trope and that scammy language so that they can, I don't know, it's a loophole that they created, right? So they're saying sort of like the parents, they call it abuse, I think, on some level.
Why it's so that gender dysphoria is a diagnosable medical condition. It's hell to live with.
That's
Why?
right.
Why is it brought into schools thinking it's a cool thing to do? I think we have 1.6 million people that are gender dysphoric in the country. That's
Uh-huh.
at 300. That's what 0.0040%. So it's a fraction. But why are so many young kids?
Right.
Well, of course, you have critical race theory and
That's right.
in
That's right.
social emotional learning.
That's
And
right.
then if you had opt out of the LGBT stuff that was the Supreme Court ruled on.
Yes.
What you watched, this was exposed by Project Veritas a couple years ago, is that the sex and gender are getting packaged in with the racial justice, racial equity courses where you cannot opt kids out. So I hope they can get
Wow.
rid of both in that school.
It's so gross. Like, yeah, it's obvious. All of a sudden now when they're teaching this to kids, you teach anything to kids, they're going to be like, oh, wow, I can be trans? Like, if you just took that off the plate, no, none of those kids would be
You
trans.
don't
None
want
of
to be
them.
trans. Why is this? It's like, it's time
I
to
don't
know
know.
about this.
I don't know.
Yeah, you have to, I have something wrong with me. I have to try.
I
And
know, it's crazy.
I'm on medication till the day I die.
But you're not, trans is your condition. It's not your identity. You're Christine. That's what I keep trying to tell people. These kids are identifying as trans. That's the big, because they're being taught.
Thing, yes.
It's cool and hip. And the problem is, I don't care, wear whatever clothes you want and be that. But how dare you give these kids medication? And then they lie about giving them medication and like all these detransitioners. So this is a great segue, friend. So the second part of this story from Project Veritas is the mom story. And this was really what my subscriber base really wanted us to talk about. So let's go here. Hold on one second here. Let me bring this to the stage.
If it was not Pastor Miller, if he did not put the wedge between me and my daughter was still alive. She would be still alive. I heard about Pastor Aaron Miller from DCF social worker. Aaron Miller filed a complaint against me after he saw my daughter only once for emotional abuse because I was refusing to affirm her gender identity.
Wow.
Due to my Muslim beliefs. Well, I'm not the problem. I'm the mother who tried to save her child.
Wow.
By judging from the papers which I received from DCF, I believe Aaron Miller encouraged my daughter not to have any contact. It's pretty scary to have your child in elementary school, in middle school, in high school, and even in college, because groomers are everywhere. And now we know they're in church as well.
Okay, I'm going to stop now. We can talk a little bit about this, so I'll play the rest. This is the part breaking my heart. So so in the state of Connecticut, a pastor or anyone can report that a child is being abused by the parent for not affirming the gender?
I guess so. I never knew this existed until watching this video.
Oh, I
don't know. Now, I want to know who reached out. Does the child reach out to Pastor Miller? But Pastor Miller said, hey, we have to talk with your mother. You know what? Maybe we need to make it the correct way. would be we should have a meeting with therapists and your mother.
Yes. But that's not what the mom said. The mom said after one visit, and I think maybe the mom was, then he determined, Pastor Miller determined whatever his sort of legal space, he determined after one visit that he's going to call DCF, which is so sick, to remove the child from the mom's household. That is child abuse in itself, and put the kid in a foster. Do you know how horrible it is to be in a foster space?
One visit. No, and no meeting, like I said, no meeting with the mom or an actual therapist. Why?
No therapist. So he's not even a therapist. He's a pastor. Now that being said, I don't know anything. I think people on my last video, they told me you can become a pastor on the internet and actually get like a certificate, take a test and take a certificate. So
MCC's Metropolitan Community Churches have been around since February of 1969.
Oh wow. But how do you become a pastor of the church? Do you know?
I don't know what they have to do.
What they have to do.
In MCC.
But also, what gives you the so I understand. Don't think I don't understand child abuse, and that 100% an adult should call if somebody's being abused. But I personally do not believe, especially after one visit, that calling DCF on a parent. Also, remember, she said she has Muslim beliefs. This is a pastor of is the MCC Christian? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I would say it's Christian, yes.
So what makes your religion better? It's like you're saying being a Muslim, like you're totally going against their belief system, which is also really disgusting as a religious person to make that choice. Right?
Everything just reeks wrong. Immoral, wrong, illegal.
So let's finish a little bit more of this here. Hold on.
My name is Elvira Said, and I would like to share the story of my daughter, Eileen Said. And I'll start my story, how it started. How Aaron Miller filed a complaint against me for being an abusive mother. On October 27, 2023, I was driving to Rider University in New Jersey. It was a family weekend in a
So I don't know why it ended there. It's so weird. I don't, hold on one second. Let me bring us back up here. That's so weird. It cut off or something. I want to bring up this here. Hold on. I'll bring up this. I don't know why the video cut off, but here I can do this. Let me bring up, because something very bad happened and I want to share that with the audience. So here we go. Share. Didn't this child end up committing suicide?
Yes.
Yes. So here, Trent destroyed, led to daughter's suicide. I don't know.
2022, when she came out to us as transgender, I started to look for what to do. And the only option which I found online was just the affirmation. That's what the internet told me, that I had to affirm, otherwise my daughter would commit suicide.
Oh my God, he's totally
So we
lying
went
to
along
her.
with pronounce.
So this is the thing that I have the problem with, Christine, is that they're using this idea that if the child doesn't do the gender affirming care, they're going to kill themselves. That's factually not true. It's not true.
They're using kids as shield to push a medical agenda.
That's
what
right.
What is lost is that we need mental health therapy.
Wow. Just wow. You know, the mom just goes on to say, like, basically there was filed a report against her. And then I want to just get to the part where the child, so I guess eventually the child just, do you know much about this story or not?
Wait for the child started testosterone, and Elvira didn't find out about it until getting like receipts.
Oh my God.
For the cost.
Oh my
She was medically transitioned. Raven was medically transitioned without Elvira, the mom's knowledge and consent.
Oh my God. How are they doing that though?
Stuff she fight against every day, Buck, and it happened.
And it happened and this kid ended up.
Case.
Yep, totally committing suicide because I do think the
This kid
I
probably screams to me and needed good mental health therapy
a
and
hundred
was denied
percent,
that. But
hundred
being
percent.
affirmed for top surgery in one visit, too,
Wow, just wow. Yeah, it
that's
says
embarrassing.
tragically within a year, Miller's DCF report, Syed would learn from police that Eileen, referred to as Raven, had taken her life at Rider University. It would be 4 days before her body was discovered in her dorm room. Syed believes Miller encouraged Eileen to sever contact with her family, affirming that she could access free college support and taxpayer-funded gender-affirming care, including hormones and mastectomy. Oh my God. Wow. Tragic. Just tragic.
To approve for the surgery in one visit.
How? I don't, I'm so disgusted in
That's
this
crazy.
trans. What are they?
I believe she was 17 at the time for that. It's a minor age kid getting affirmed, right? Right, affirmed. How about confirming something, and how about having the parent be part of the process?
How about we don't do this to minors and
Bingo, yeah.
lie to them that you're going to change your sex because that's a full on lie right there. And then acting as if their whole life is going to be better when they do it and not really understanding the things you need to do to navigate as a transsexual. They're not even being told that. Why do you think we have massive amount of young girls detransitioning now who were this little girl? This little girl's, what a tragedy. What an actual, and how, don't you just find it disgusting that the trans community doesn't talk about this stuff?
We're the bad people for bringing it up because we spread
Wow.
dangerous right-wing anti-trans rhetoric.
How is this right wing when it's the factual?
Because that's because people don't want to hear the truth.
So they call it right wing.
Yeah.
Wow. If that means I'm right wing, then I'm right wing because I'm not going to let this happen to these children.
You
I'm
know,
going to
the worst
continue.
part about this too is, like I said, after 2 Connecticut state senators drafted a letter to our Attorney General, William Tong, requesting an investigation, and
Yeah.
William Tong won't do it. See,
Yeah.
is they
Yeah.
will not take any recommendations off of Project Veritas sources.
It's crazy. It's like say, yeah. Well, it's the same with regular like major media. Fox is considered this, CNN is considered that. No one wants to find the middle ground. Shouldn't we be here to help the children? If some child needs to have some kind of hardcore mental health care, the thing is, if we take gender affirming care off the table and there is no surgery or hormones, these kids will figure out how to live life until they get old enough, like we always did, right? We always learned it.
And if there is basis that they have dysphoria, why can't they just non-medically transition for a year for their?
They can because I did it. They can.
I've stated this in public testimony.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. It said interrupting a child's puberty is gambling with their long-term future health, and I'm not going to sit quietly by and let this keep happening. We have a dead child on our hands because of this.
Oh my God, it's sick. And that poor mom. Well, Christine, thank you. I do appreciate you coming on and really spilling the beans, if that's what it is, or really helping us to connect the dots here. And we have to go after these kind of people. They cannot be part of this community. We should be ashamed of anyone doing stuff like this under the name of trans healthcare. Like, what? That's not trans health. Now we have a child who's never going to come back, and that poor mom. I mean, just the whole thing is so sick and twisted. It's like a horror movie. This one I'm about to do is extremely disturbing. This was sent to me by more than one person, more than two, more than three, probably about 10 people sent this to me. So I felt the need to actually expose this. As a person who is a 33-year transitioned female to male, I do feel an obligation to expose dark sides of the transsexual and transgender community, because there is. And I believe that it is important for your own people in your own community to expose bad people, and why I've chosen to take this story on. Now, that being said, these two people who I will have you see in a second have declined to be interviewed by this particular website. So let's move forward. Without Consent, Part 1. This is from Project Veritas. A Connecticut pastor, youth director, secretly steer kids towards gender transition, defying parents. Okay? This is the most upsetting story when I read it. I just sat with it for a couple days because I'm just, what? Project Veritas today released explosive undercover footage exposing a network of transgender activists in Connecticut led by Reverend Aaron Miller, senior pastor of the Metropolitan Community Church, and Tony Farilalo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name. I'm just going to say Tony Farilalo, director of youth and family program at Healthcare Advocates International. The investigation sparked by a mother's tip after her daughter's troubling interaction with the Pastor Miller, uncovers secret support groups, covert distribution of breast binders, and discussions about puberty blockers and top surgery for a 12-year-old female child, Justin, who seeks to transition to a boy against parental wishes. This is the most disturbing story. Look, I don't care what adult wants to do with their time. You go right ahead. But when we have actual transgender people like these two, literally doing what you're about to see with young kids with they are not mental health care professionals. Nope. One is a life coach and works at some organization called the Healthcare Advocates International. The other one is a pastor of a church. They're not mental health care. Just because they are transgender men, female to male transgender, does not give them any authority to do what I'm about to show you. And I'm very upset about this story. It is disgusting and why I'm exposing these two. So again, these are my opinions based on this actual videotape of them saying these disturbing things. So let me roll that tape.
A mother's tip to Project Veritas sparked an investigation into a network of transgender activists. Falsely accused of abuse after her daughter had one meeting with the Reverend Aaron Miller, she feared for others. Miller, a transgender pastor, collaborates with transgender life coach Tony Farilalo to advocate for transgender youth in Connecticut. Through a series of meetings with the pair, Project Veritas probes how far some activists may go to promote transgender transitions for children without parental consent.
Already, I'm just disgusted. First off, what gives these two the right to talk to children about transitioning? Okay, when I show you all this stuff, because I looked them up and I found stuff and it makes all the sense in the world, they do not have the authority to hide stuff from parents. And it's actually really shocking to me that one is a pastor and one is a life coach. And they're I'm sorry, I just interrupted the video here.
During an initial call, a 12-year-old girl is introduced to Reverend Miller by a Project Veritas journalist. She discusses her struggles with gaining parental acceptance for her chosen name and male identity, Justin.
Justin was assigned female at birth, but Justin wants to be referred to as a male. Mm-hmm. I was thinking that you would be the perfect person to talk to about this.
I identify as a boy, wanted to be a boy. That's how I feel inside. But my parents, they don't support me, and I'm trying to find out how I can really become my true self.
Okay. All right. So for people that have never experienced this like your parents, the first answer or the first reaction can often be, you're not, and not believe you.
Are there?
What gives this person the right to say this? Because they're a pastor? I don't know much about being a pastor. I don't know much about being a person in that position, but I'm assuming that position gives you a sort of space to help people move forward. Now, this person is a transgender adult, but I'm going to ask all you in the comments who are more religious in the Christian faith than I, what gives the pastor the right to sort of talk to this 12-year-old? This is a 12-year-old child. They think they're well, I think it is a 12-year-old child, or they went undercover as a 12-year-old child. And what gives them the right to have this conversation without the parents? Okay. And when you start to hear what this pastor is telling, it feels so one-sided to me. And it feels so much like there's an indoctrination happening. Before I move forward, I want to say this disclaimer. This is my opinion of what I have read about the situation in here. And it's all alleged, but at the same time, there is actual video footage of this situation going on. So I am just giving my opinion about this story. So let's move forward.
Any groups for kids that are kind of like secret?
We have a circus program, but it's for kids. So it's like, I think, how old are you?
12.
12, yeah. So that you're right in the perfect age. So we don't tell anybody. No. Well, yes, they'll never know. We don't tell anybody where these are being held. There's one every other week is in Middletown, and every other week is in New Haven. Like I said, I have somebody who's awesome, absolutely awesome to talk to them, and who will talk to you too, Justin, about how you're feeling, what you need, and all that. But his name is Tony Ferriello.
My nephew Justin, 12 years old.
Hey, Justin.
He's having a really hard.
My nephew. It's not the parent who's bringing the child to these two people. It's the aunt. Okay, so first off, wouldn't you as an adult say, hey, hold on here, wait a minute. I can't really have this conversation with you without your parent involved. Isn't that the correct? I get some young people contacting me. I will not even touch that conversation without having connection to their parents. Okay. This is so disturbing beyond belief.
Hard time with everything going on, the transition. And I spoke with Pastor Aaron.
And also, remember, they said, no one's going to know. It's a secret group. Your parents aren't going to know. What?
And he recommended that we reach out to you.
Where are the parents, and what are they going through right now?
They just don't believe it. They just think, well, you're born a girl, then you're a girl. They don't think that you can change.
Yeah, guess what? We can't. I transitioned actually 20 years ago. So in 2005, I transitioned, and there was no one to guide me or anything. So at that moment, I started working with trans youth and their families. The first thing
I'm
you want
shocked.
blockers, right? Puberty blockers? Yeah. And then eventually, would you want to be on testosterone?
Yep.
How about top surgery?
What?
Have you thought about top surgery?
Oh my God, I'm just blown away by this. I'm blown away by this. It's like he's leading. I transitioned in 92, buddy, and I had nobody to help me. But the last thing I'm going to do is tell kids, what are you doing? What? My God.
Yes. Okay. He needs to move forward with this transition.
Yeah.
And is he getting his periods already?
No, not yet.
Okay. Because there's no way we can
Is he getting his periods already?
sneak blockers. You can't do it. They're especially nowadays. The legality, and no doctor is going to touch a 12-year-old without parents' consent. The youth group
Thank
is.
God.
I started in 2008. I started as just a teen group, and then I started an art group for kids 12 and under. One of the main rules I don't like rules, guidelines of the group is do not disclose the location to anyone for safety reasons. And that's really big, especially now. If you didn't know, this is a high school that's a farm. It's so far out there that nobody knows where it is, and I think that's safe for us. Between me and you, and this is not being recorded, I can't know that they don't know
Right.
to put them into the group.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. No. I can't say to you,
You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink, not. What are you doing, dude? You are so busted. You are so busted. And I am disgusted by you and Pastor Miller. What are you people doing? You think you're saving kids' lives? Oh, you just wait. You just wait. What you're doing is is actually so insane and disgusting. You have an agenda because you didn't have somebody to help you. Now you think you are not in a situation legally. How are you legally doing this? I don't even understand how you're hiding. It's a secret. Why is it a secret location? Why are you hiding these kids from their parents? Why are you not trying to get the parents and the kids to find a middle ground to help these kids move forward? What are you doing? I'm so fully disgusted in you.
Take them there behind the parents' back. I can't do that. But what I can say is tell you that, sometimes other families will take other kids because they're going, they're sleeping over and then they're going out the next morning to an event.
Right.
What?
I'm going to leave it up to you to handle the family.
Oh my God. This guy is teaching people how to do things behind parents' back. So they'll sleep over their friend's house, but they'll just be going to an event. But really what they're going to is that trans circus event, whatever that is, or some secret location for trans kids. Wow, dude, you are so busted. You are so busted. You just wait till I show you what.
Part of it, I'm just going to make sure that Justin gets what he needs. Yeah, just
Really?
bring him. And if they say we're taking him to a park and taking him whatever, that's up to you. Taking him out for lunch. I don't know how many people we should share that their parents don't know. They're all cool. And they wouldn't say anything. But I just want to protect Justin.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
If this is all on the up and up, why are you being so sneaky, dude? If this is all on the up and up and what you're doing is a great thing for these kids, why are you being so sneaky? Wink, wink, nod, nod. Why are you doing that? Because it's not, and you know it. And it's why you're trying to sneak these kids from their parents.
I don't want to give him the space and then something happened and it's taken away because the parents are adamant about him not going. Do you have a binder? Do you bind your chest? You have
12-year-old. Remember, this is a 12-year-old.
one? Okay, because we give away free binders. All right, they're supposed to be for 18 plus because legally that's what we have to do. But we can always give one to Reverend Miller and see what he does with it. Whatever he does with it is none of my business.
Oh my God, they are so these two dudes are so sketch. So he just admitted it, legally not allowed to give the binder to a 12-year-old, but he'll give it to wink, wink, Reverend Aaron Miller, who I don't need to know what he's doing with it. These sketchy, man, I hope you two go down hard.
Reverend Miller and Tony told our journalist they could secretly provide a breast binder to 12-year-old Justin. Chest binding compresses chest tissue to create a more masculine appearance for those experiencing gender dysphoria. Despite research linking it to physical and psychological risks like pain, breathing problems, and damaged breast tissue, they express no concern about supplying the binder to Justin without his parents' approval.
So it's a compression vest, right? It compresses the chest. Now, I don't know if he's developing yet or a little bit. Okay, so that's the timing of this. It's really, really important.
Yeah.
And that wasn't put right, of course. I'll get you an edit along the way.
So I just want you to know, Justin, just so you know this, I was born female, and I do want to tell you that when, and it's not if, when you become who you are, really who you are authentically, there is a joy that I can't describe to you.
Wow.
And that's waiting for you.
Wow.
People can think all they want. You know who you are, and we're going to start surrounding you with people who love and honor you, and that's going to really help you.
This is the beginning of someone helping you, okay? And maybe several of us helping you. So we'll work together to find a way. And Justin, I want you to hear the people that care about you and love you, all right?
Here now in your life to protect you and to help you move forward, okay? Trust me. I've helped thousands of kids.
Speechless. We have helped thousands of kids. These two sound like cult leaders. They're like, don't worry, we'll take care of you. You know who you are. At 12, with no mental health care, with no helping these people navigate a system that they're not even equipped to handle. At 12, you are going to tell a 12-year-old that they know who they are because you think you knew who you were at 12? Oh my God, you guys, I am disgusted by that community and I will not tolerate this nonsense. And I have nothing to do with that. These children should never be around these kind of people. So let me just show you this. I want to bring this back up here. Down here, so remember when they were saying they're giving away these breast binders here, but they're not allowed to give it to 12-year-olds, so they'll give it to the reverend who will give it to the kid, but he doesn't wink need to know anything about it. So he works with that organization called that one dude, the life coach. He works, what's his name? Tony, Mr. Faralalo. Okay, he works with Healthcare Advocates International. Healthcare Advocates International is committed to advocating for the rights and the happiness of the LGBT community, blah, 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 blah. Tony Ferraro serves as the youth and family director as well as the head of the private business. Tony has never authorized or condoned, okay, listen to this, Mr. Farlalo providing binders to anyone under the age of 18 without parental consent. We will be looking into the matter to ensure binders purchased by ACAI are not being used by Mr. Farlalo at his private business. So they do not give binders. This organization, Healthcare Advocates International, does not advocate for giving binders to people under 18. Yet Mr. Tony is buying them from this organization or whatever they're doing and giving them to underage, which is completely against the rules of the organization that, I'm going to go scroll back up, that I think this Tony guy is Tony is the director of youth and family program at that program. Shouldn't this guy just be fired? Completely fired. So I went to do a little bit of research about this Tony person, right? And what did I find? Oh, well, check this out. I went to Tony's website. Guess what Tony's website says? Right there, plain and simple. This website is briefly down for scheduled maintenance. Please come back soon. Kind of interesting. At the same time that this particular website is outing their insanity, this person's website is down. I was like, that's a coincidence. How did that happen? Gee, I don't know. So now I found this little video of the Reverend Miller. Okay, I don't know what it takes. I did a little search about how you become a pastor. It's not, it depends on the church or where you're at, but you don't necessarily have to go through you don't have to get any kind of like degree or anything like that. You just have to, I guess, take some classes or do some, it's pretty much like you could just be a pastor if you want. So there's no necessarily, you need to get like a bachelor's degree or some kind of degree in theology. Some churches will just hire you. This guy feels to me like he was just hired. Is there something creepy about this, or is it just me?
Greetings, dear MCC friends. I'm Reverend Elder Aaron Miller, and I bring you greetings from the MCC Council of Elders, Governing Board, and staff, as well as a spirit of love and joy from MCC Hartford in Connecticut, USA. The MCC Statement of Faith includes this verse, referring to Jesus. You restore the joy of our relationship with God, even in the midst of loneliness, despair, and degradation. I'm sure it comes as no surprise when I say that we are in a time of uncertainty and our LGBTQI plus community is a target of political.
But wait, didn't Pastor Miller just say that you are supposed to be restoring your faith and communication with Jesus? And how is doing sneaky stuff behind parents' back and leading children down an irreversible path, creating a connection with Jesus. I really want to know. I don't understand. That feels very conflicting to me. What also feels very conflicting to me is they clearly have an agenda to transition these children. They do not have a open heart to say, well, maybe these kids are struggling, maybe something's going on. These two have a full on agenda, and they work together with each other. As you saw, Reverend Miller's passing it off to Mr. Tony, and then Mr. Tony's telling them, oh, don't worry, we have secret hideouts for you, and we have Clown Circus World to make sure that you feel loved and happy, trans joy. And then we also have secret places to put you in. So
I appreciate you having me on. Welcome anytime. If you're more welcome, feel free to reach out to me.
Oh yeah, I will. We'll stay
East
contacted.
Coast issues that never want to go away with this stuff.
No, it's gross. And so thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for leaving Christine beautiful comments like you always do. And we'll just keep bringing you all this stuff. So so have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.